It's finally happening, folks. Disneyland has been purging elements of the sequel trilogy from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge over there in its Anaheim theme park. Has not come to Orlando yet, but many believe it's only a matter of time. Darth Vader, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and it might not be as bad as we originally thought. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. So here we have this article from WW Pro over on TPP. Disneyland scrubs Star Wars sequel trilogy from Galaxy's Edge, and fans are loving it. Of course, he says the first promo videos and photos did not go well for the Walt Disney Company when it started replacing the Star Wars sequel trilogy with Luke, Leia, Han, and Darth Vader. Should have been a decade overdue grand slam, but the costumes didn't look good. And we see here the costumes that we originally saw, that terrible wig. I mean, guys, this looks like the front of the package on the Spirit Halloween costume for Han Solo and Princess Leia. It is not good. And Steph, even Variety was dunking on Disney over this one. It's just not good. Not good at all. But did you guys see this? They have made a change. This is what Han Solo looked like when he debuted last night.
Han, I got a question for you.
Look at that.
Get the jacket.
So I know you've
That's
galaxies.
way better.
Many creatures.
The wig is better.
Has
His face looks better. The costume is better.
The shirt is quite nice and correct.
They put him in his Empire Strikes Back costume.
They sure did.
I don't know, Steph. What do you think? Do you think that's an improvement?
I think it's an improvement. Like I honestly, their debut looked a bit cringe, right?
Yeah.
It did look a bit cringe, but on the other hand, this is what we wanted from the very beginning. Like, we wanted these characters in Galaxy's Edge, and now they're bringing these characters to Galaxy's Edge. Yes, probably because they're realizing that the sequel trilogy didn't pan out. All of their plans didn't pan out. What people are attached to is the original trilogy characters, and that's what they should have done from the very beginning. And it's not these actors' fault, right? It's not these actors' fault that they look the way they do. They're not going to look 100% like the actors who played these iconic characters, but they're there, and that's really what we wanted from the very beginning. So I think he looks a lot better than the promo. And hopefully, I don't know what he's saying or what the conversation is, but hopefully he kind of embodies that character of Han Solo. So I mean, that's really all we're asking for.
Yeah,
I wasn't as hard and as critical as a lot of people were on it, because it's like they can't help it. Like they're what do you call them? These actors?
They're character actors, or
is that what they're called for Disney? I don't know.
I guess I was just
face characters.
Face characters, character actors,
okay.
Because they're not like union actors or anything like that. These are just people
it's not their fault that Disney put them in ill-fitting costumes for the promo. It looks good now, but I mean, for the most part, I wasn't too critical about it, because this is what we wanted from the very beginning, and now they're giving it to us.
Yeah, I mean, character actors at Disney, they kind of have a thankless job sometimes. Disney puts them in terrible costumes, or kids hang on them, or parents aren't watching what's going on. People mob them. Jay trips them in the middle of the park. These things do happen. But we also saw Leia arrive with Han, and Leia looked a lot better. Here, take a look at this. That actually looks.
She looks adorable.
Yeah, she looks more like Leia. The makeup is a lot better. The wig is a lot better. Now, we don't have any video of Luke. I'm very happy for the guy that's playing Luke, that he doesn't look like Mark Hamill, because I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But I mean, I thought Luke was of the three, Luke was the least offensive. When they were doing it. But we're also now starting to see, guys, that they are removing a lot of the sequel trilogy stuff from around. You see Andor props and other new updates inside Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge. Batuu is packed with hidden details waiting to be discovered, from scorched blaster marks on the wall of Aga's Cantina, which is from a novel, a Vader and Thrawn novel, to rare objects tucked in the rafters of Doc Ondar's. Now visitors will have even more to explore. Because as of today, Galaxy's Edge expands its timeline to introduce elements from the original Star Wars film trilogy. As a result, there is a number of exciting new updates coming to Black Spire Outpost, including hidden Easter eggs. So when Batuu first opened in 2019, background. let's have a look here. Novel and unique items. Some of the biggest changes are coming to the shop formerly known as First Order Cargo, reimagined now under the name Black Spire Surplus. Every shop and proprietor in Galaxy's Edge has a rich backstory, and this new military supply shop is no exception. Located near the TIE Echelon, Black Spire Surplus is run by two ex-clone troopers who fought side by side in the Clone Wars before finding themselves on opposite sides of the Galactic Civil War. One fought for the rebellion, the other served the Empire as a stormtrooper, but the two ultimately decided to retire together and opened Black Spire Surplus as friends and colleagues. I actually really like that kind of story. He says it's really fun to look at before and after photographs. We've gone from the very orderly, clean sterility of the First Order to something far that feels really weathered and lived in. I like that. I like that a lot. Visitors also to Doc Ondar's will notice the Curiosity Shop has everything from Kyber crystals to ancient Jedi artifacts, but guests should keep their eyes peeled for new objects decorating the walls and ceiling. For the new updates, the Imagineers drew particular inspiration from another iconic antique shop elsewhere in the galaxy, Luthen Rail's exclusive Coruscant Gallery from Andor. So they're adding Andor stuff in there too. Andor's a very popular thing, obviously. The Droid Depot is also getting, you know, a whole bunch of different things, and DJ R3X is still spinning the tracks over at August Cantina. He is from the original Star Tours, obviously. Visitors who are fluent in Arabesh should take a close look at the job board posted inside the Cantina door. For those who are well versed in the ability to translate or read Arabesh, you may notice some of the jobs have actually changed or been updated. That's interesting. And of course, the biggest addition here, the John Williams score being played throughout Galaxy's Edge. That is huge right there, guys.
That is a massive thing. It took 7 years to get Star Wars music in Star Wars Land.
Yep.
You know, good time to do it, I suppose, but
so
7 years.
Let's take a look here. We have Darth Vader arriving for the first time in Galaxy's Edge. You see him coming out here. I'm gonna probably have to mute this until Vader comes out just because of the music. But stormtroopers come out first, and
spaceport control.
Okay, they're doing like a whole little show there, and wow, we're really milking this, huh? Here he comes. Yep, they're hitting full Imperial March. Very nice. And here he comes. I just want to get the crowd pop. Oh, they're really. There he is. There we go. It's about time, honestly. Look at that.
It took so long. It's ridiculous.
Is it James Earl Jones' voice?
I have come for an enemy of the Empire.
Not a bad sound alike.
Indeed.
So we got that, and then we've got First Order banners have been removed from Black Spire Outpost. You see it here. The First Order banners were up here on this area over there. They've now covered those up. Saying makes the area feel so lifeless. Get out of here. For the love of God.
I mean, you would think that they would put up Imperial banners, right?
Mm-hmm. So now also there is a galactic ID maker at the Star Wars Trading Post at downtown Disney. Costs $15. And let's have a look. So it's like a little photo booth you get into, and it actually makes you an ID badge. Could be for the Jedi Order, for the Empire, I guess for the First Order as well. But if you're wondering how this went, the new galactic ID station, according to liveplace.com, Trading Post, we're talking about a photo booth here, had an 1.5 hour long wait, guys.
Oh, wow.
I mean, those IDs actually looked really cool. The photo booth concept is a very interesting thing because they basically just rebranded one that you would find in like an arcade or something like that, which I thought was a little weird.
But honestly, to me, I think this kind of flies in the face of the idea that Star Wars is completely and totally dead. Lauren and I have been talking about this on our shows quite a bit lately, that like the black pilling about Star Wars is like, we're finding the more they start to brush up into the original trilogy again, the more people are suddenly showing interest again. Things like what's going on in Galaxy's Edge. I mean, they've got to bring that to Orlando, right? They can't just leave that as a California thing where Orlando is just the bad Galaxy's Edge that's just steeped in the sequel trilogy the entire time. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this.
Early. I think it's too early, honestly. Because I think like with every new thing coming to a park, there's a big surge of people that are really excited about it and want to come and get you have an hour and a half wait for this photo booth, which I think is a really good idea. It's a cute little souvenir to take home. So it's too early to tell, honestly. I think they're doing what they need to do, which is rebrand or not semi-rebrand and bring in the original trilogy characters, because that's really what people want to see. I think that they made a huge misstep with the park, with Galaxy's Edge and how they handled that, and not bringing any original trilogy characters besides like Chewbacca, but that was only because he was featured in the sequels. So I think them going back and bringing all of these characters in and sort of like redoing Galaxy's Edge, it's a nice step it's a good step in the right direction.
Right.
But I think time will tell, because there is so much brand damage to Star Wars.
Yep.
I think like everybody coming in and seeing all of this new things that are coming to Galaxy's Edge is because it's new. It's the hype around
that's
the new
possible
stuff coming to Galaxy's Edge. So I think time will tell if that'll help with the brand damage that's been done to Star Wars. Because I think like a lot of people have just lost faith in Lucasfilm and their ability to give us good stories when it comes to like the Star Wars brand and stuff. The Mandalorian and Grogu I've already sort of like written off as that's not going to be a movie that pulls in the money. Where you'll be able to see sort of like that shift will be Starfighter, I think, with Ryan Gosling, that movie, because I think more people are interested in that movie than Mandalorian and Grogu. So I think like the all-encompassing thing, like with the redoing of Galaxy's Edge as well as that movie, we'll see if like there's a bigger boost in sort of like reinvigorating the Star Wars brand.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. The one thing that makes me think that people aren't ready to give up on it yet, though, is one of the biggest things around the Star Wars ethos right now are those AI movies that we're seeing pop up on YouTube all the time, because people are giving fans what they actually want, and people are actually flocking to those videos. Like those videos are scoring big. Videos that are reacting to those videos have become really big. People actually want to see this kind of Star Wars. So I think that's something that you can't overlook, and it's why like I always I always have hope that they're going to maybe pull their heads out of the sand. The Darth Maul show is terrible. I've been watching that every week to review with Lauren on Tuesday mornings, and the Darth Maul show is awful. The Mandalorian and Grogu looks terrible. We'll see what Starfighter is like. That's still a Kathleen Kennedy production, so who knows? We will see what happens as time goes on with Star Wars. Vash, what do you think? Do you think the Star Wars brand is damaged beyond repair, or do you think there is still an appetite out there for good Star Wars?
Well, there's an appetite for it as long as they have the courage to pursue it, and that's the thing. I disagree a little bit that it might be too soon. It's never too soon to start making money. Which, by the way, the sequel trilogy simply wasn't moving merchandise. We know this from the staleness of Ridley Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Maybe it wasn't experienced as much in Orlando, but in California, where you have something like 75% of all of the guests inside that park at any one time coming from within 250 miles away, they are regulars, right? They're going in there often. They simply weren't going back to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge with the offerings available. And it's one of the reasons why I do believe they brought this out in California before they brought this out in Florida, because it really did need energy. It really did need something to change within that land in order to get people back there and to buy merchandise. And I think that was one, a merchandise change, but also two, a shifting of this timeline. Now,
what a hard pill to swallow for Lucasfilm, though. Like to be able to have to be like, no, we were wrong, and we have to actually put the original trilogy in. We need Han and Luke. Like what an absolute joy that is. And we're gonna be talking to Gina Carano again, and like they are eating all sorts of crow. All over the place.
Well, they have to be. I mean, wonderful. We tried to tell them this back in the day, and yet
money talks. My buddy sent me a picture from Ollie's the other day, and it was just an entire like wall of OSHA acolyte figures, like 10 deep on each peg. Like, whoa. Nobody bought those.
I didn't know they existed.
And yet I just did a video on my channel the other day about how they're trying to say the acolyte is suddenly seeing a surge of popularity, but it's not, because the figures that they are quoting are completely misleading. And the other thing is that if viewership is up, it's because it's the thing that auto plays after Darth Maul, Shadow Lord. So people are watching that and getting bored and falling asleep. They're probably waking up 3 episodes deep into the acolyte. So, you know, because it's a boring show that you could fall asleep.
Right. You get that amazing runtime right there from people who have, like you said, fallen asleep during the show. Look, I mean, I think, especially when, I mean, a lot of the stuff debuted with Star Wars Night, right? The first Star Wars Night, one of the first Star Wars Nights available at Disneyland. So they had some special events related to that. You saw projections in Space Mountain, for example, even Small World. The castle, I believe, had a few things going on with that. But it's really profound. The level of enthusiasm that's raised just a little bit higher. I know that Star Wars Night sales really, I mean, they sold gangbusters this time around, whereas last year they didn't sell hardly at all, which was a different thing in terms of the level of enthusiasm for this particular event. Now with these characters reintroduced to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and when you had like Luke, for example, hosting the lightsaber ceremony that they do around the Millennium Falcon right there, so cool. You could hear the reverberation from the crowd. They reacted to that far stronger than maybe Rey, who used to host that event for, you know, the previous, 6 years.
Who cares what she has to say? You know, like, well, at the end of the day, she does have some experience as a Jedi, Vash.
Do you have a bit of experience in that arena?
If you consider failure experience.
Indeed, indeed. We also need the clip of Thanos saying, you couldn't live with your failure. So
where did that get? Back to me.
Back to me. We need that right there for this story, because I think that's perfect.
We do have a clip of Star Wars fans, you know, making their feelings known.
Disney.
I love that clip. I always love that clip so much.
I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Galaxy's Edge being scrubbed of the hated sequel trilogy. They're pushing it into one little corner outside Rise of the Resistance. Will it be coming to Orlando? Only time will tell, but we are definitely watching and waiting for any kind of news.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.